And that brings us to tip number 5. Keywords are crucial. Keywords are the cornerstone of Internet marketing. Keywords are the terms that people are going to use. They're going to put those terms in to find you on search engines. It's smart for your brochure text to repeatedly mention the terms that people are most likely to use when searching for information about your services. So you want to, in a blog, in your social media profiles, in your status updates, and your website, use your keywords frequently. Why are keywords so crucial? Let's just connect the dots. I love that shot. That's an actress from that Housewives show. Oh gosh, I can't think of her name right now. Take my word for it. That is supposedly a famous actress. And the point is, though, the keywords scratch an itch here. Okay, and that's what we're going to talk about. It's because of a concept called the long tail. That concept was popularized in a book written by Chris Anderson in 2004. Chris Anderson is the editor of Wired magazine. And what he said that was, kind of earth-shaking, if you look at that curve, it's kind of like the long tail that you get in a Monte Carlo solution. It's not similar. You capture the outliers. So what that means is that your goal in Internet search is to take advantage of the fact that you can make significant profit from selling small volumes of hard-to-find items to many customers, instead of only selling large volumes of a reduced number of popular items. That's what the long tail is. So let's explore that concept. This is the Google AdWords keyword tool, and you could find it by searching that term. And I went in there and I put in the term Roth IRA. And you could see that there were 35,000 monthly searches recently for that term. Now, I tried making the term a little bit more specific. And when you add the word Roth IRA conversion, there are only 820 monthly searches. What that means is there's less competition for that term than there is for Roth IRA. So your chances of getting your website listed in a search result using that term become better. That's what the long tail is. And if we go out even further and take a less used term like Roth IRA recharacterization and focus specifically on that, only 66 monthly searches. So there's a lot less competition for you if you want to include blogs, content on your website, content elsewhere on the web, using that term. That's the long tail of search. It's helping people find a needle in a haystack. When someone searches for you, are you on the first page of search results? Or do people need to hunt for you? I did a search. I randomly chose the name because it was common. George Jackson, CFP. I don't know George Jackson, to be honest with you. I'm sure he's a nice man. I hope he's not on this call. And I eventually found George. And this is a smart guy. MBA, CFA, CFP. But on his bio page, there's not a term that people would use to search him, to find him. I mean, people are not going to use Jesuit preparatory school to find George. They're not going to find him by searching any of these terms here. So he's made some mistakes in terms of building his website, in terms of describing his services. He's not mentioned his name. There's no effort to target local prospects. And that's where he's failed in creating a site that will be recognized and show up in searches. What you want to do is list by importance your 5 or 10 keywords before you put content up on your website, before you write a post on your blog, before you start tweeting. What are the terms that people are going to use to find you? Think about that. On the left side of the Google search, you're going to see a button that says related searches. You could use that. It'll give you a list of searches that are related to keywords that you input. When you write your post, repeat it 2 or 3 times. Use keywords as links to relevant content. If the relevant content is internal to your site, that's okay. If it's external, that's less good. And if you have any images, whoop, those are my dogs, I'm sorry. If you have any images or photos, tag them with your keywords when you name those files. Some more best practices when you're writing for the web. Writing with your keywords doesn't mean that it can be gibberish. You got to get your keywords in there, but it's got to make sense, the text. Stories are about people generally. It's best to think in terms of writing content, if you want people to read it, that is keyword dense, but make it a story about people as much as possible. Begin with the end very often. That's a good strategy for financial advisors especially. It's kind of values-based selling. It forces you into that mode so that a lot of advisors get lost in the details. Begin with the end. Begin with the end of the story and how you helped somebody, for instance. Start sentences. Just use a simple structure, subject, verb, object. Keep your sentences short. Keep your paragraph short. 1 or 2 sentences is paragraph on the web. And always get another set of eyes to proofread your copy. If you're not a writer, I would suggest reading on Writing Well. If you've been tuning into webinars that we've done, I've always suggested it changed my life as a writer when I was around 19 years old. And if you're a better speaker than you are a writer, then post a video. And I'm going to be doing a lot more to help advisors understand how to use video and create their own videos. I'm working on that now.